maybe there could be something funny here, right? Because our job is, first, to make people laugh. So, yes, we're looking for the funniest thing, but we found that the best way to get the funniest thing was to be as natural and believable and as relatable as possible. And that meant sticking to what could happen. Not that it definitely happened that way in your house, but everything that you saw in this episode could actually happen, right? There was nothing so far-fetched or crazy that it could not happen. So that was the rule. That was, and not every show should be that way, can be that way, but for our show, that was our rule. Could this happen?
I want to ask you two questions. First of all, I watch this series a lot in the Israeli television. I think that the last chapter I saw was when the father, he wanted to be a writer. He discovered that he has a talent to write for the Reader's Digest.
That was very early episode, maybe the second episode.
Yes, but running it over and over. And I thought about two things about this series. One, that as you said, maybe it's not there isn't a special trick about this series, but it's very good written and crafted. It's made very good, so I like it. It's not something maybe there is a lot of family series, but this is a really good one and it catches you. And I want to ask you more about the craft. For example, do you think about a team when you decide about the season? Is it going to be the season main team?
Yes. In the early episodes, we did not think about this. We were just trying to stay alive.
And just to Louise,
go ahead.
The second question is, I realize that Raymond is really the less interesting character.
Yes.
And all the other characters are much more. Usually, the fun begins when the parents are coming in,
right,
or the brother is coming in. Ray is just, the server. He's not really making it.
Yes.
Most of the time, I like to see all the others.
Yes.
And he's, just an ordinary guy.
He's deceptively so. He's deceptively so. But I could name, I don't know if you've seen every episode, but I could name several episodes where he is the funny thing in that episode, where he is and I can define his personality as not just everyday guy, although that's a big part of the appeal, but he's a pessimist, he's a worrier, he's a child, he tries to get away with stuff, he's lazy, he wants to be left alone, there's a personality there. And a lot of it comes from Ray, from who he really is. But, and we were talking about this last night, he never acted before the show. And if you watch in an episode like that one, you see that's very early, you see an evolution. To the point you saw today, now he's actually, that's a performance you saw. You see him start, he doesn't want to go to Italy, and by the way, that's true, he really didn't want to go to Italy. He had never been to Italy. At the end of the first season, I asked him, what are you going to do on your hiatus from the show? And he said, I'll go to the Jersey Shore. And I said, why don't, really? Yeah, we go every year. I said, why don't you go to Europe? He goes, nah. I said, you've never been to Europe? He said, no. I said, why not? Well, I don't know. I said, wait a minute, you've never even been to Italy where your family's from? He goes, no. I said, why not? He goes, I'm not really interested in other cultures. Even his own culture. So I thought, wow, that's a good show. We send him over like this, and then we send him back like Roberto Benigni. After he's been transformed by the magic of traveling, and especially Italy, right? But look at what he does in that episode. That's a good actor. Because he seems still like the real guy. He's not acting. He just is. And to me, that's the number one job, isn't it, of the actor? We were talking before how it was accepted at the beginning, right? It wasn't. It was barely made it onto the schedule. And it was in the worst time slot that the network had because there were no big stars in the show. Ray was not famous. Peter Boyle was semi-famous, but he had a supporting role. And it was only because we got some good reviews and because some other shows were bombing on the good night that they moved us. But then when they moved us, they said, you better be performing here, otherwise we got to send you home. Okay, so we were just trying to stay alive. And then it just started slowly catching on until it became successful. But did I answer your question? Oh, about the craft?
Yes.
Yes.
How do you...
At the beginning, we were just trying to